Hello, lovers. Just to forewarn everybody, this is totally a purge of ickiness in my own life, and it's a video about myself. And if you don't want to watch that, I totally get it. I'm not the biggest fan of watching people talk about themselves either, so if you want to skip this one, totes get it. So I was talking to my best friend over the weekend about holidays and kind of how they bring me down, just because ever since I was a kid, honestly, being from a family where you only have three people, it's just my mom, my sister, and me, and my sister and I have such a big age gap between us, 14 years, that she was out of the house really early. So, I do remember spending a lot of holidays just my mom and I, which is awesome, but when you have more to your family, you want everybody there. And you also have to kind of just be okay with sharing it with extended family. So I got cool with, cousins and aunts and uncles, and it was fun. But what I really wanted was just the immediate family time. The last couple have been especially hard just because my family and I aren't really speaking. And I wanted to make a video about that because as I was talking to my best friend this weekend, she did mention how I should document kind of what happened and how I'm feeling about the whole situation while I'm in it, so that later on, if we do reconcile everything, we'll have something to look back to. Back to, like, what was that? Basically, over the holidays of 2013, everything was good. My sister was my best friend. We talked daily. And we decided that it had been a long, long time since we spent a holiday season together. So for that Christmas, we were going to have me fly out to the suburb of LA that she lives in and stay with her for a week. As a Christmas gift, she offered to buy my ticket. So then my boyfriend and I were like, well, hey, it wouldn't be that expensive to get you there too. Why not take advantage and do it while we can? So we decided to make it a trip for both of us, and I'm not sure if that's where it went wrong or if the whole trip was doomed from the start. But basically, we ran into one bad thing after another this whole trip. It turned into the worst trip I've ever taken, honestly. Um, a lot of it came from my sister and her OCD ways and not being able to allow guests time to breathe and kind of riding you and being down your neck the whole time and being really critical about how her guests stay in her home, even though she had an entire wing, like a bedroom and a bathroom set aside for us specifically. I just had some problems with the way she was treating us. All things I was going to let ride until it boiled to a head, and it blew up Christmas Day, of all days. And she decided to lash out at me over some really, really silly topics. Now, before Christmas Day, we had gotten ourselves into kind of a heated conversation, which basically included her husband, so my brother in law, and myself, talking about heated topics regarding the minority groups we were both a part of. He was talking about the struggles of being a black man growing up and living in America, and I was talking about the struggles of being gay. Neither of us were putting each other down at first, and then he kind of went there. A lot of his argument had to do with how gays can hide their minority, and we should if we feel victimized, because if black people could, they would. I take so many issues with that topic, one being knowing what it's like having to hide who you really are for your whole life. It fucks you up psychologically. Like, that's not shit to joke around with. I wanted to approach this conversation from a place where two minority groups, actually three if you include my sister being a woman, were coming together to talk about struggles and help each other and give each other advice and be there for each other as family. And that's just not what came of it. And I'm still confused as why my sister and her son, who was then 15 but a child prodigy, everybody likes to say because he's fucking smart, but I think if you're just a smart kid in 2015, that stands out because a lot of kids just aren't, right? So I think this argument that got a little heated because it was stuff we were both passionate about, however, did not lead to any mudslinging or remarks that scratched below surface. My sister didn't walk away from it very well. Me and her husband were able to walk away from it just fine. We both said, hey, you know what? Learning experiences happen, and sorry to raise my voice. My sister couldn't squash it. She thought it was really disrespectful. I stood by everything I said, and I still do. If this wasn't a topic that we were able to talk about candidly and honestly, that's what I had issue with. And that's where I told her I had an issue. And I think after that happened, we had a snowball effect of negativity and there was no recovering because Christmas morning we ended up leaving, my boyfriend and I did, because we couldn't stand being in her house because she freaked out about the dumbest stuff, saying that we disrespected her place, that we were slobs, for leaving coffee mugs on the coffee table. Both mugs that were left there were filled with hot cocoa that was still being drank. These are things that OCD people have, that I want to do a whole video about because it's serious. These are serious things because it leads to anger issues, it leads to anger problems, and problems dealing with what to do with your anger and why you take it out on others. I want to cover that because OCD is a scary disease that nobody talks about. However, it is not a ticket to be an asshole, and that's what my sister was treating it like. But then the next day, it didn't help anybody's case that we sat in the LAX airport all day waiting for Spirit Airlines to cancel our goddamn flight. Hashtag fuck Spirit Airlines, I hate them. But we sat there all day, and then the last time I contacted my sister ever was to tell her they were refunding the ticket to her account since she had purchased the ticket as my Christmas gift, and then we had put my boyfriend's on with that so we could sit together. However, we paid for his and gave her extra money to accommodate us staying with her. So that was our money to get back. And she had a problem with that. She was like, you want your money back? You're not even going to offer it to me for hosting you? And I was like, no, we're fucking broke, you weirdo. So we had that issue. And you're just kind of like, fine, whatever. Like, we'll roll with this when we can deal. That was the last time we spoke. And I had this really weird time dealing with that because I was like, okay, well, there clearly needs to be an apology from her end. She was the host. Her guests ended up leaving on Christmas Day to get a hotel room in a city's downtown they had never been, taking shuttles and buses to get there because your lazy ass couldn't drive them. And there's no way I was thinking she could expect me to call with an apology. I was waiting for one. I demanded one. I wanted one. And I had told that to my mom, and I think that laid this fire of ickiness because we haven't talked since, and slowly it festered its way in between the relationship between my mom and I, and now for this holiday season, my mom and I didn't speak. So I don't have family right now, and it's an awful feeling, and I feel like I lost it because I'm calling out bullshit. And people don't want to deal with what really happened and the honesty, and my family's always had a really hard time dealing with the cold hard facts when it comes to not being the best, not handling things the best way, being financially unstable. Like, my family has a real tough time dealing with the truth. I don't get why, but I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone in these kind of arguments in families causing great divides. And I wanted to make this video and share this struggle that I'm on that I'm not proud of and I'm not happy about. And it hurts, but I wanted to share it because there are other kids out there not experiencing the holidays with their families. I tried to make myself feel better knowing that it was just another day that you weren't speaking to your family, but it is hard. It is a problem when you're not talking to your family over the holidays because family is what gets you through the holidays. You know, the holidays are hard, and those close bonds, the bonds that you create with the loved ones that you see every day or you talk to every day or you try to talk to every day, in circumstances, you try to have really good, healthy relationships with those people. And when you see those relationships for what they really are and you can no longer stand by them because they're not being honest, and that's what causes the divide. That's what I'm going through, and I wanted people to know that there are other people out there doing it, and just doing this video, just helping create this Dear Diary journal entry, feels therapeutic. But there's something about this that is resonating with me that needs to be a discussion. We need to be okay talking about how, why, and when we're hurt, and what hurt us. And I wanted to be able to make a video about what I'm really going through and how I feel kind of let down and betrayed by my family when they're supposed to be people who raise you your whole life telling you that no matter what you do, they'll be there for you, right? Like, they sit there and they tell you you can't do something that will lose my love. Like, you'll have me forever. That's what family is supposed to be. And to find out that my support system gave way to something so stupid and silly, and because they're ashamed of the truth and because they don't want to deal with things the way that I want to deal with them, and they have a problem telling me that rather than ignoring me, we're in this situation. And this is stuff that is easily avoidable. And hopefully somebody watching feels inspired to reach out and talk to somebody that they fucking did wrong. If you were the wrong one, reach out and apologize. God damn, I wish my sister would see this video, because it pisses me off to no end that I still haven't received my apology. We have talked one time on the phone since this holiday, and it was after I had basically pleaded with my mom to convince my sister she had to apologize. She called me, left me a message, so I called her back. I never received that apology, but she was willing to talk. But then that's where I found out that she wanted the apology. And that shit just does not sit with me well. She had no basis in her explanation for why she deserved one. And at the end of the conversation, I could tell that she was starting to see where I was coming from, that I had facts and all of this history built up in this argument, in this case that I was making, to try to plead for my best friend back. You know, I didn't want to lose my sister over this. And now I'm to a point where I have lost so much respect for her. I cannot view our relationship the same way I ever did. And that bothers me. And I don't know what to do going forward about that. So I'm kind of at this standstill. Now, this year, my mom didn't talk to me over the holidays, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Christmas. So going forward, I guess just dealing with feeling really alone, and kind of what that means through the holiday. It sucks. It sucks to know that, and it sucks to know that the people you grew up with don't want to speak to you, and it's just rough. It's just rough. I just wanted to document it, and hopefully, if you aren't in a similar situation, you're able to correct yours. And if you have any input on what you're going through, or maybe what you've seen others go through, please comment below and get a conversation started, because I know there's so much I missed covering and kind of what this video could encompass. But hopefully this video will get to somebody and make them feel a little bit better and make them feel less like shit for being alone, you know? It's not the worst thing in the world to be alone over a holiday. You get to know yourself a lot. You grow a lot. I know me at 24 when I lived in Chicago, I would have loved to have seen a video like this on YouTube where somebody my age or whatever was going through similar situations and felt alone, you know? It doesn't even have to be over the holidays. It can just be feeling alone in general. But if that's you, or if that's anyone you know, please continue this conversation that I started below in the comments. I want us all to feel like we have somebody to talk to. Let's use the comments as our conversation with each other and create this family that is full of support and love and wants everybody to be and do their best, right? Because who wants a world full of shitty people? Nobody does. Let's create this family unit that we all need for support and love. Let's do that ourselves. Fuck them. Fuck everybody, right? Okay, well, I hope y'all are having a great week. We're getting close to Christmas. God damn, it's like less than a month? Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so, hope you have a good week. The weather here is rain, man. Rain after rain. So I hope you stay dry and get ready for an amazing holiday season. Even if you are alone, it'll be fabulous. I promise. We'll make it that way. Okay? All right, well, have a good day and take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.